possible. I'll ask you a few questions. I'll request if you could also answer those questions and come forward and share your insights. What I've tried to do is that I've tried, since I don't claim to be an expert at unlocking the secrets of speech writing, I would probably try to share a few things that that you would probably not have thought of before, or you don't have an idea about, or point you to things or people whom we can emulate and whom we can look at, trying to identify how is it that we can go about writing the entire speech. Uh, I can just very easily summarize this entire discussion and say that, hey, just go and listen to 50 or 60 different evaluators give their feedback. Just note all the feedback down and ensure that you incorporate all the feedback in your speeches, and then, hey, you're the best speechwriter that there is. But then it does not work like that. And you may have attended like a lot of different Toastmaster sessions, completed a lot of different pathways, but unfortunately, that dream of winning district at the district level eludes all of us, including me. So I've tried rationalizing or tried figuring out what could be the best way for us to win at the district, and for me, I would like to share a few things or few tips that I have observed. So without further ado, I'd like to quickly start by showing you a very small video. What we'll do is I'll request all of you to take out your phones or take out a notepad or anything or whatever it is that you like doing, where you can take notes, and we'll watch that video and let us try to analyze that person as a speaker. And then let's try to figure out what went well, what didn't go well, and try to understand the basic nuances. It's a 5-minute video, and there'll be many videos like this that we will go through today. And I broadly like to structure the session today in this way, wherein we spend about 30 to about 40 minutes trying to go get through some relevant insights that I have accumulated through my journey, and also share and also use the remaining part of the meeting to do like a small assignment, or just try to break us up into teams, try to figure out what could be like a good speech for us. Try writing a speech for about 15-20 minutes. So that is what I wish to do, and I hope that that we are able to do it. And I'll start off everything by giving a very big caveat that I am not an expert. I don't know everything, and I'm not saying that whatever I suggest today is definitely going to make you win. First, because I am going to be using all of these things, and you will be competing against me. So it's a very strong competition. But jokes aside, the second thing is that these things work for me, and they might not work for everyone, but I'm pretty sure that these are like the gold standards that we can definitely follow and emulate. So having said that, I'll try to share my screen now, and I'll show you this one very interesting video of a fabulous person called Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was the founder of Apple, and this is the video from
in the position.
first from the time that he launched the iPhone. I hope all of you can see the video. If anyone could unmute and just confirm that they can see the video.
Yes, it's visible, Pranav.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. And I'll play it. If the sound is not coming, then let me know. We'll just spend 5 minutes. And like I said, please take out a notepad. Please try to or jot down in your phone what are the elements that you observe. And I'll also tell you what all things to look forward to. I would ask you to look at the content, the way that he speaks, the content, what he speaks, the way that he speaks, and also his body language. So these are 3 things that we are looking out to for insights. All right. If the voice is not coming, Anupriya, please let me know.
Sure.
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. And Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple, it changed the whole computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music. It changed the entire music industry. Well, today, we're introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class. The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. So, 3 things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. And here it is. No. Actually, here it is, but we're going to leave it there for now. So, before we get into it, let me talk about a category of things. The most advanced phones are called smartphones.
Hello. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This was one of the most iconic presentations that was ever given, and it's become like a marketing case study the world over on how to launch a product. I'll now request, it's an open house. Can anyone please tell me what are the things that you observed from Steve Jobs' first 3 minutes of speech, which left like a very strong mark on you? Anyone can just come forward. Probably if you can raise your hands, and then I'll just call out if there are many people, or just unmute and then speak. Yes, Amit,
Pranav,
please.
can I say? Yeah. Okay. Hi. Good evening, everyone. So, Pranav, firstly, I noticed that first is created anticipation by saying we have waited 2.5 years for this. And then he took a long pause. So he allowed it to sink in. And then second thing I noticed was that his movements were not at all exaggerated. And he was letting all the focus on the screen and not on him. So if our movements are very aggressive and exaggerated, the focus is on us and not on what he's wanting to show. Then he used the adjectives for the 3 launches. I didn't make the note of the adjectives. He said widescreen, and then he said, those adjectives. So these are the 3 things I noticed. I'm sure there's more, but this is what I noticed.
Thanks so much. I think you're absolutely bang on. So thanks so much for that. We'll address all of these points very quickly. Tanisha, if I can request you to come forward and share.
Vittal here.
Yes, Vittal, hi.
Yeah, what I liked is within short, very brief time, he mentioned about those 3 products and created that curiosity. What is he going to talk about further? And suddenly he brought out that secret, all these 3 products into one product. That is where that sudden, secret.
Absolutely. He created
opening the speech
and then unlocked it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Vittal. If you could just come forward and share.
Yeah, Pranav, according to me, what the part I really liked was the fact that the way he showed his excitement with the product. Like, you will be happy working on one of these.
Right.
So, that kind of excitement of the person shows it definitely projects on the audience also. So, I think that is one point I really like.
Absolutely, absolutely, Dhaval. I think all of these are brilliant points. Anyone else has anything to share? Yes, Abhijit. Hi.
I like his body language. I mean, he was very key focus on his the presentation part of it. He was not wearing a big blazer or anything. He was very calm and composed and total focused on the screen. And his hand gestures was very limited. Though he showed this kind of thing, but very
Absolutely.
keen on the screen as mentioned earlier. So this is my just takeaway from the presentation shown by.
Absolutely, absolutely. Vipul, hi. Can you please come forward and also share your views?
Hi. So what I observed is Steve uses only short sentences. Usually we see in big presentations, big words and all this. So here he used direct to the sentence which are direct to the point and very short. So I think this is my observation.
Right, right. Thanks so much, Vipul. I think that is absolutely bang on. I also noted most of the similar points that you all have shared. Now, one thing, if I were to just ask everyone, did any of you feel at any particular point of time that he was not being real or not being himself, or he was trying to be someone else that he was not supposed to be, or becoming like a showman in front of the crowd? Anyone felt that?
No, not at all.
Absolutely not, right? He was being very genuine in whatever he said, and also just the small things that he did. I think Vipul rightly said when he said that we finished the competition, and then he did the gesture, and it stuck to us. Like how I think Vipul also said where this is the day which we have been waiting for, and then he took a long pause for that audience to get exactly what he's trying to say. So if you observe the number of minutes that we spent, it was 3.5 minutes. So roughly, half of our speaking time at the ISC, right? So we've all of us took back 7 or 8 major points in 3.5 minutes, which made us feel that he's a good speaker, right? And chalo, theek hai, it's Steve Jobs, right? We may be biased in our heads, but we can't dispute the fact that these are basic things which he did demonstrate while he was speaking, just like hands on his side where he was standing like this, and the way that he spoke, the way that he actually conveyed his points, the way that he built his anticipation, all of these things are very, very important. So on this note, no, I'll start with my PPT where I tell you a little bit more about the secrets of speech writing, and when I tell you a little bit more about them, and don't worry, this is not a very long PPT. It's just got 5 slides because I know that it's Friday for all of us. What I intend to do today is that I wish to share these few secrets to speech writing, which we generally either know or we forget, or we don't know at all, or we have not grasped looking at these iconic speakers. Okay, and we'll be going through a lot of different speeches today, trying to figure this part out. Also, one thing that I would like to very clearly clarify that whatever I'm sharing today is not for you to become like a better speaker. That's an entirely separate educational session. What I wish to do is just unlock the secrets that will help you to win the ISC. Because you may be like an average speaker and you might still win the ISC if you do a few things right. So that is something that you need to be very, very conscious of, that you need to spend a lot of time becoming a better speaker, and that will take years and years of practice to do. So don't be afraid of taking part in the ISC thinking that, hey, I'm not a good speaker at all. Yeah, I have not even won at my club level. All of those things don't matter. What matters is that you participate, and if you are authentic, relatable, and if you practice, these are the 3 basic tenets that will help you to win the ISC. So like how we saw with Steve Jobs, he was there to tell us the story that he wanted to convey, and like someone else rightly mentioned, we were not focused on Steve Jobs, we were focused on the story that he's selling. So and that happened because he was authentic. The second part is was very relatable. So like someone also rightly said, there were no big words, there were no jargon, there was no key we've created this 13-inch touchscreen with fully compatible display with multi-touch fragments, you know, nothing of those shots, nothing of those things. It was just this three basic things that customers want. It's a internet communication device, it's a phone, and it was an iPod. So these were the basic things that he spoke about. And the third and the most important thing that I'll tell you about Steve Jobs is that while he works on his speech, he practices day in and day out. So that is what we need to do. We need to practice our speech day in and day out, and only then will we have a shot at success. So Steve Jobs apparently did 6 practice runs. Actually, in the auditorium, he did 6 practice runs every time before he launched the product. So yeah, so I think, in my opinion, at least, these are 3 basic tenets for you to win the ISC. Then the most important question that people generally ask is, what should we speak about? You know, so what I have tried doing is that I have tried to I've tried to answer this question, that how to choose a topic, right? So so there is no science to this, and please ignore this table for the time being. I'll come to this table. So but before that, just please pay attention to what I'm trying to say. So there is no science to choosing a topic. What you should speak about are things that you closely identify with, or you strongly associate with, or you have an authority over. These are the 3 tenets, or these are 3 principles that you should use to identify a topic. So if you look at any of the past winners of ISC, or if you look at any of the, even if our District 98 winner Shobit was also in the meeting, the topics that they chose to speak about are the topics that they very closely identified with. It's stuff that's actually happened to them. It's stuff that they have gone through, and at some point of time in their lives, they would have felt this particular emotion, and that is why they were able to speak about it. And a lot of us say that ki yaar hamare life mein aisa kuch nahi hua hai, or we have not had this thing in our life, or I don't know what to actually speak about. But it's not the case. There is life is not a bed of roses, and life is also not bad. It's actually very good. So it's on both spectrums, right? So there is a gamut of emotions that we are dealing with. So it's important for us to identify that emotion and then choose the topic basis that. So unless you identify a topic that's close to your heart, you will never be able to be authentic. And if you are not authentic, you will not be relatable. And if you're not relatable, then how much ever you practice, you will never be able to associate with the audience, right? So this is something that you need to remember. Now after this, what I have done is that I have tried understanding that so I spent significant amount of time when I was preparing for my 2021 ISC. I spent a significant amount of time looking at past winners, trying to figure out what is it that's core to them, right? And I realized that not only do they choose a topic that's close to their heart, but they also use something which, for the lack of a better word, I call it as a hook. Okay, so anything that actually endears your topic to the audience is what is called a hook. Okay, so like for example, we most of us are Toastmasters here. Anyone who's a young Toastmaster, say less than 6 months? If no, then you need not reply. If yes, then just say yes. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead. So if you're not less than 6 months, you probably have heard of Mike Carr, who was like 2020 ka speech competition ka winner. You probably have heard of all of these other people. You probably have heard of Mohammad Katani, who was 2014 ka or 2015 ka winner. So you probably have heard of these speeches from some or the other Toastmaster, and you would probably have figured out, you probably have seen those speeches also. But I'm pretty sure that you would never have looked at their speech through this lens, that what is it that they wanted to speak about, and what was the hook that they used to actually connect it to the audience. And that is the analysis which I did when I was doing this entire exercise. And as a chartered accountant, Excel comes very naturally to me. So I of course prepared a table, and then I said that, hey, let me try to figure out what is it that they are using. So anyone who's seen Mike Carr's speech, I'll not say Verity Prize because some of you might not have seen her speech, but anyone who's seen Mike Carr's speech and just wants to talk to me about it, like please just unmute and share what is it that you felt that they spoke about, and what is it that what was the hook that they used, and we'll of course discuss what I have said. So there's no right or wrong answers in this. It's just something that I have found, and I'll be very happy to hear from any of you who have heard Mike Carr speak. If someone's raising hands, please let me know because I'm on this screen. So.
Hi Pranav, Shobit here.
Hey Shobit, hi.
So yeah, I heard Mike Carr's speech. The hook was he moved in front of the camera, turned his face for 45 degrees and spoke in a weird voice, the sheriff's voice. And it caught all our attention with that.
Right. Absolutely. That's a very interesting point. And I will also be coming to that right now. So thanks so much. Thanks so much, Shobit. Anyone else you think wants to come and share for Mike Carr? If no one, then no worries. You might not have, or you might not have thought about this because this is a concept that you're hearing for the first time today. Like at least for some of you, you would be probably be hearing for the first time today. But no worries. So I'll also share what is it that I felt about Mike Carr. So if you have heard his speech, I'm sure you have heard of how he figured out like a projector was broken, and then how he went to his librarian and said that my projector is broken, can I repair it? And then he tried repairing it, it became kharab, and then the teacher said that no, you have to pay for it. And then he said that then he went and spoke to his parents, and then he was very afraid of speaking to his parents, and all of those things finally led to his epiphany that the victory is in the try. At least I tried repairing the projector. So what if I couldn't actually go ahead and actually do it, right? So I at least tried doing it. So that was the key message that they spoke about. Okay. And yes, in my opinion, again, like there is no right or wrong answers, but in my opinion, Shobit, what you're saying is absolutely right. How he did that entire thing, that is actually very correct. It did hook us, but in my opinion, what a hook is that, so this is the message that you want to convey. Okay, this is the message that you want to convey. What element or what ship or what vessel are you using to communicate that message, or what is the thing that you're doing so that the message becomes relatable to the people who are listening to you? That is what is called a hook, right? You may use various elements. You may use a false voice. You may use modulation, you may use any of those things, but those are elements. So what we need to figure out is what is the hook that we will use. Okay, so what we spend most of our time doing in ISC speech writing is just trying to figure out what is it that we will speak about. We never try to figure out that so what we want to speak about makes our speech authentic, for sure, because this is something that we have experienced, for sure. But the hook is what will make it relatable to the people. So like for example, what Mike Carr did is that when he was speaking, I could actually imagine my own librarian or my own projector or my anything, all those things having gone through similarly at my school level, right? So that is something that I could do, and that is something that is very, very critical for us to do. And for us, that second part is what a lot of people miss, which is something that you should really focus on when you're looking and trying to figure out your topic, because if content is king, right? That is the first thing that people will judge you on. That is what has got the highest marks in your judge sheet as well. So this is something that you need to strongly think about. Apart from this, of course, all of these five, I've taken just the last five winners, and each of them, I believe that spoke about a particular thing. Like for example, if you remember Manoj Vasudevan, he speaks about how he and his wife used to fight a lot and had a lot of disagreements. And when his mother came and said that you need to pull less and bend more, and then be more flexible in your approach, basically to solve problems. How he used like a classic analogy of marriage to drive an important point on human psychology. I believe that was the hook for him, and that is what made him win. So for us, we really need to figure out what our hook is. So Shobit, I didn't know that you were going to be in this meeting, but I've taken the liberty of including you also here. So Shobit also spoke about hush, don't rush, and things will happen at the right time for you. The thing is that there's a reason why these two things are blank. Pranav is of course me only. So there's a reason why these two are blank. We'll come to this in a bit. Okay, so I'll just stop here for like 10-15 seconds and just get some introspection, just get some insights from people. Is this the first time that you've learned this, or is this, or did you think about this before or no, or did you know about this, and what do you think about this concept, and will this lead to a change in the way that you look at speech writing, or anything that you would want to share? I'll just probably stop for like a minute, just for us to discuss this. and happy to take any questions also that you might have.
So this is a very nice table that I liked, and the kind of effort that you have put into identify, because this this is gold. There's nowhere else you would get this. At the same time, looking back, when you have all those points over there, and then you have made the year, mentioned the year as well beside it. One thing that probably in hindsight appears is the message that they spoke and the relevancy in that particular year. For example, in 2021, it's about how it is not about life is like a fairy tale, and it is not, and it isn't. In 2020, it was about at least give it a try. Probably it was referring to the vaccine. Let's give it a try. 2017, it was like the nuke war is going to happen between North Korea and it was all about put less and bend more. So two countries. So is it also about a universal message, trying to send out a universal message?
Anand, like this is how I look at it. I may be completely wrong, but my belief is that the speakers don't think about this when they make their speech. Of course, there is a topical element that you need to incorporate looking at the current scheme of things. But you don't think at this level when you're making, like, especially not at the level of the like World War or anything like that, because I'm sure that when I may be completely wrong, but I'm sure about this fact that when Manoj was possibly writing a speech, he didn't think about this. He just found a good topic which he associated with, and it was possibly a topic which he held on to for a long time, because it's an emotion that he is portraying there, and that is what made him win. So that it might be the case, and we may like in hindsight try to force fit things, but I don't think that is what speakers like at least speech writers think about when they are writing a speech.
Got it. Thank you.
Great. So I'll just quickly move ahead. I'll continue with the presentation. Of course, if you have anything that you would want to discuss with me, please feel free to interrupt me at any point of time. Don't have any formalities. Next, I'll talk to you about certain key elements about how to speak effectively. First is, of course, how you write your speech, and then, of course, how you deliver it. All these things matter, right? And most of these things you would possibly have heard about people speaking at various points of times in your evaluations or in various other things. But let us take the first thing, use of expressions. Now expressions, I figure, are one of the most important things that help to distinguish you, because I believe that expressions provide a window to the soul of the speaker. So the audience is very, very clearly will associate or relate with you if you can give the right expressions at the right time. Sorry, having said that, remember the three tenets, right? You have to be authentic, you have to be relatable. So the authenticity and relatability both come from the expression that you give. And just to quickly understand this, let me play the video of my speech from the district contest. I'm not saying that I'm the best person with expression. I'm just saying that you could possibly use this as a way of trying to figure out that what are the possible range of expressions that you can give, and then we'll just quickly discuss that speech as well. So I hope you can still see my screen. I'll play it, and please, I'm playing it from the middle, so you might not get the context if you have not seen my speech before, but you will definitely understand what is it that I'm trying to say. And just pay close attention to the expressions. Don't pay attention to the words. Of course, relate the words to the expressions.
That does. Contest chair and my fellow fighters, have you ever been in a position where you are the most popular boy in your college?
Sorry, you're not able to hear?
We
can't see the video. We can see the presentation only.
Okay, sorry. I will still share my screen again. I apologize.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yes.
That does. Contest chair and my fellow fighters, have you ever been in a position where you are the most popular boy in your college, where every girl wants you and every boy wants to be you? Yeah, me neither. But everyone wants to be that cool person, or at least to be around one. Through a curious twist of fate, during the first year of my college, I became friends with Michael. Michael was the 6-foot tall guy with abs harder than Thor's hammer, with eyes more piercingly blue than Superman's X-ray vision, and with a personality that would put Iron Man's cockiness to shame. One day, this Greek god, this Michael, walked up to me and said, "Hey bro, see what I got for you."
Can I request people, if you can come forward and probably take a minute and quickly share what is it that you felt were the most important things regarding expressions specifically in the speech. Anyone, if you want to share? If not, then I will probably share a few bits.
Hi Pranav.
Hi Ravi.
I'm Ravi. Your expressions are aligned with your word, and it's a synchrony in your communication that I observe.
Absolutely, Ravi. Yes, you're right. That is something that was thought through. So thanks so much for that. Anyone else with any insights? No worries. So I will quickly share a few things which might help you. So I'm probably a little bit more expressive than normal people when speaking, and I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. This is just works for me. You might not choose to do this, but remember a few things. Like how if you remember the point where I said that Michael was a tall guy, like 1, 2, 3, and then at the same time I kept going down. So that that difference is starkly measured, and all these small things. I'll just caveat before I go to all the other, like there are 4 major points that we need to cover, but all these common things, people will not judge you on, but when they see you and when their brain processes your speech, all these things will make a small difference. So I've tried reading the science also behind it. So subconsciously all these things impact your decision making skills or your decision making when they evaluate you as judges. So it's very important. So like how I quickly demonstrated that short, I became short while this became long, like the Michael was tall, and at the same time I said abs stronger than Thor's hammer, and then I just pulled it like this. So if anyone remembers Avengers, at a particular point of time, Thor, whenever he gets this hammer, it flies into his hand and he gets his hand back like this. So if you've not seen the Avengers, it will not matter to you. But if you've seen the Avengers, you will automatically, your brain will process it that yes, it is Thor's hammer. Okay? And then when I said that, and with a cockiness, and like in Bollywood movies, how like people who are like more outgoing or more fun or cocky, they are the one, like so they move their shoulders and they're like, oh, this is such a nice thing, So it's these small things that actually try to, which will help you to become like a better speaker. So when I actually wrote this, I didn't think about what expressions I want to give, but it's only through that third bit. Whatever I said is actually true, because I had a friend called Michael in my college. So it was authentic and it was relatable, because everyone has friends who are, good looking in college. Especially if you believe that you're an ugly person like I am. So you all have good looking friends. So it was both authentic and relatable, but the only way that I was able to make those expressions at that particular point of time is because I practiced a lot. So that brings that the third element there. So user expressions is the only practice. So you write your speech normally, the way that you would normally write it. Don't think about what expressions you will give, but only when you start practicing it will those expressions come out naturally. And then you tweak your little words to here and there to figure out what the best way to position it so that your expressions are more natural. So, but it's very important to have this kind of an expression game in all of your speeches, and you will see this repetitively in multiple different speeches whenever they like all good speakers will have this tendency. So I'll just quickly move to the next bit where I am where I'm talking about this pauses. Now all of like the entire journey of Toastmasters of yours, the first thing you would have learned is you didn't pause enough. Like your icebreaker speech, only your evaluator would have told you this. But the thing is, no, that pauses is important. I don't doubt it at all. But what is more important than pauses is pauses in the right places, so that maximum impact is driven. Again, I spent a lot of time analyzing good speakers, and I tried to figure out what are good pauses. And I will give you a fabulous example of a good pause. Everyone's heard of Martin Luther King, right? And he has this amazing speech called "I Have a Dream." You have to watch this speech whenever you get time. We'll watch one aspect of the speech today, where I take you through his like the first part of it, and you please figure out the place where he's paused, and then we'll try to analyze that why did he pause there. Okay, I hope all of you can hear the sound. If you can't, then let me know.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago,
Hello, anyone would like to come forward and share what is it that they observed in the speech, and what about that pause elements did you like or dislike, or anything that you think could have been done differently? Again, there are no right or wrong answers, and I strongly encourage you to come forward and share whatever you feel. No worries. I'll quickly share what I observed, right? Yes, Santosh, you're absolutely right. He paused for the audience reaction. Absolutely right. But you guys should, all of you should go and watch these speeches again. But before that, before he paused for the audience reaction, he did something even better with his pauses. He gave a minuscule pause at the end of 1/3 of his major sentence. So what his sentence was, it is a day that will forever be remembered in history as the day that as America's fight for freedom. And then he could have immediately continued and said, on this day 50 years ago, he could have continued. But what he did, he said, at the end of 1/3 of the sentence, he paused so that people understand the depth with which he is speaking. And yes, it's the president, or it's a very big civil rights movement, so he's naturally going to get that respect, which we probably don't get in our speeches. But that is not what I'm trying to allude to. I'm trying to allude to the fact, or I'm trying to allude to the skill with which he actually decided when to pause. It was at the 1/3 of the sentence mark, and then second 2/3 maybe, and then again 2/3 he stopped. So that when finally people connect this entire sentence, they know that it's a very big reveal. And this is such a powerful sentence to start with. This is what he's starting his speech with, probably the most iconic speech in the world. And that is what tells you what good speakers rely on when they want to communicate a very, very important point. So it's not just pausing, it's pausing at the right time and for the right moment. Then of course is modulation. Again, something that your icebreaker evaluator would have definitely told you. But I would like to point out what is it that you need to modulate, and also need to understand that modulation is not just to show off your skill of command over your voice. It is used to actually drive a new train of thought or drive emphasis. So most of us would probably be working in a corporate. Some of us have their own business, so to them this might not be relevant. But to those who work in the corporate, you have made resumes, right? In your resume, you bold a few things. Why is it that you do that? It's because you want people's attention to go to that. It's for you to drive emphasis. So that is what is more important. So for user modulation, I like to take the example of Mohammad Katani. He is the world champion in 2015, and that's a speech that you have to listen to. And most people, when they read or talk about Mohammad Katani's speech, they talk about the first part, or they talk about the ending. But I think right there in the middle is a gem of 1 minute that he uses, which is a fabulous example for modulation. So he had a very, very funny start to his speech, but right here is where I believe that the magic truly happens, where he just plays with her mind. So please just watch along with this.
But most importantly, if you are a person who's a role model. If you're a person who's been admired, anything you say could be believed. Anything you utter could be taken as truth. My friend Nasser, he loved his father, idealized his father. He would do anything to make him happy. But his father was the kind of person who's not easy to impress. And year after year, Nasser tried, and his father was like, yeah. First year in college, Nasser got straight A's. And he thought to himself, this is it. This what will finally make my dad proud. He picked up the phone. He called his dad. Dad, I got straight A's. Are you proud? Please tell me you're proud, Father. Yeah, listen, son, I'll have to call you back. I'm busy. I'm busy was the single sentence that broke the camel's back.
I'm sure all of you have seen his speech, and you're probably thinking, why do I waste my time on a Friday evening looking at his speech again? But like I said, I requested you to take a notepad and just jot down things that you found. Did you guys find anything interesting in his speech that you saw it now with the lens of trying to figure out voice modulation? Anyone has any insights?
So does he pause in between to catch his breath?
No, I believe that because he's speaking very slowly, so I believe that he's not pausing to catch his breath. He's pausing to drive emphasis. That's for sure. But also to change his tone. I'll quickly share what are the things that I observed for which you guys should definitely look out when you see the video again. So the first thing that it's the way that he says the word anything. So in the speech where he says anything, it's a way that he actually it's like a casual disregard, and then after that he says year after year, and you can actually hear that entire agony in his voice, where he said that it took a significantly long time for this to happen, but it's still not happened. Then at a particular point of time, he said, yeah, like as a casual indifference, and that is also very interesting how he brings about that point, because, and again, like I keep reminding you, all of these things will not matter in the like a total picture point of view, sir. But all of these things are very important too, because these are the things that subconsciously affects the judges, and this is what will help them to make a strong decision in your favor when they are evaluating you. And when he says that finally, that with that strict authority, when he says the word finally, just watch this 1.5 minute clip again, and you will see that. And the best part in this entire thing, I realized, which most people probably can't figure out when they are watching this on a video, but you would have definitely caught it if you would have been actually in the stadium, is when he says, "Are you proud, Father?" And at that point of time, the way that his voice breaks, as if that person is just about to cry, and that is how you will speak, right? When you're just about to cry, and you're so unsure about yourself, and all that you're asking for is a little bit of love. That is what your voice is going to sound like. I could probably say, "Are you proud of me, Father?" But that does not convey what that emotion behind that sentence is. So that is what is voice modulation. It's conveying emotion, it's conveying emphasis, it's conveying your point, and trying to make the audience think on a different lens. So that is what is important. So just saying, my name is Pranav, I'm a boy. This is not voice modulation. It does not serve any purpose. So that is what you should remember when you're trying to modulate your voice, and all of this will come through only through practice. Next, I'll just quickly move through the next part, which is use of structural elements. So Mike Carr made a very good example of this, and you have all seen the video, and someone spoke about this also today in this meeting, how he uses structural elements like his environment around him to convey a point, where he I'll not show you this video again, because I know all of you remember it. So where he does this with the projector, and then to show that the projector was failing, and then finally goes and then covers the webcam, so that people understand that it's actually failed. So the thing is that it clearly distinguished him and made him memorable, because otherwise he had a very strong lineup when he was participating, right? And the only way that you can distinguish yourself if you use these elements that help to make you memorable. But don't force fit it. Don't make it seem so obvious, because Verity Prize, who's the this year's winner, didn't do any of those things, but she still won, right? Because his content was so strong and the way that she delivered her speech was so strong. But this is another secret that you could possibly consider using while drafting your speech. And the last part is the effective use of space. Now, most people will tell that, and since a lot of you are legacy Toastmasters who have not been there only in the online domain. So I have been a Toastmaster only in the online domain. Post-COVID, I'm a post-COVID Toastmaster. A lot of you are pre-COVID Toastmasters also. So all of you know that what it is to use and use the stage effectively. And a very classic example is Ramona Smith from World Championship 2018 and how she used her stage effectively. So I'll just quickly talk about that. This is what you need to watch out for.
Most often, our most challenging opponent is ourselves.
Look at how she's moving to the other side.
Round 1, college. I dropped out of college not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 times. I told myself, college isn't for me, and I would never go back. Round 2.
So again, you observed how Ramona actually moved spaces and then bifurcated her entire speech into round 1, which is one side of the stage, round 2 in the middle, and then round 3 she will go to the right side, and she's talking about 3 different stages of her life. This is called effective utilization of your space. So and you also saw this when Steve Jobs was making his presentation. I personally call it the Lighthouse Effect. If you have seen how a lighthouse works, lighthouse will put this light over the sea and will move from left to right, left to right, left to right, and associate with each audience member. So if you are giving a physical speech, that is what you need to do. Use the lighthouse effect and try to involve everyone in with you, because only when you involve everyone will you make everyone feel relatable. And again, I don't know how it works in the physical domain and where do the judges sit, but I'm assuming you probably don't know where the judges are. So you need to make sure that you are the judges feel that you are talking to them. And I know that we had probably blocked time till about 10 o'clock only. We are 2 minutes away. So I'll just quickly, so is it okay, Sunish, if we extend by like 5 minutes?
Yes, Pranav.
Okay, thanks so much. And I apologize to everyone for extending. But I hope like I just have like 2 slides to share, and we can worry about creating like going about doing the activity of creating a speech sometime later. So there are just two very simple slides that I have, which are actually secrets that I have in my journey have helped me in my speech writing and in whatever little that I've achieved in my IC journey. I'll share those with you. What I'll strongly encourage that you guys do is let me discuss one point, and if you feel contrary to this or if you have any opinions for or against, please let me know. We'll discuss this so that it benefits everyone. Okay. So let me just pull it up. I promise this is the second last slide, and after that is the last slide. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, Pranav, it's visible.
Okay, wonderful. So the first secret of ISC that I figured is important, that it is important to be a good judge before you are a good contestant. The reason why I say this is because I strongly believe that all of us need to acquaint ourselves in being a good judge and do the judges training, because when you know what you are looking for in other contestants, you will be able to make your speech that much better. That is just simply what my logic is. So when I started my Toastmaster journey, I had never been a judge. I just directly went for my area level competition. So I didn't know on what basis will I be judged. So by the time my district round came along, I had a little bit more experience in trying to figure out what on what basis will I be judged. But now I have far more experience because now I have judged competitions also. So I think that is something that is very important for you to do. Okay. Any for views, any against views, please just feel free to stop me, interrupt me, or let me know. Otherwise, I'll quickly go through this and share with you why I think why I've written what I've written. The second one is you need to modify your speech slightly as the rounds progress. So I'll be honest and candid with you. So as and when the rounds progress, I kept a very close eye on last year. I kept a very close eye on how my competitors doing from other areas. Went to their division competition, went to their semi-finals, try to figure out what my competition is doing. Try to understand what is it that I can do better. Okay. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is you also need to remember that your judges are changing. From at your club level, you would probably have judges like me, coming in, or people with limited experience, like 2 years, 3-year Toastmasters. As in when you go up to the district level, you have distinguished Toastmasters coming in. And probably like a callous speech that would have made more sense or more fun at the club level does not necessarily make sense at the district level. So a lot of people say that you should not change your speech, and why change what works so well. I am with it, but I do feel that you should also slightly modify your speech so that it just becomes a little better. And the better you can make it, there is always something that you can say in a better way. So I feel that you should strongly focus on doing this at every round. And like I said, you just write a normal speech and then add the extra elements. So whatever extra elements that we discussed here, don't think about this. Just write your speech in a way that covers all these two aspects, and then you will then add the extra elements. Don't complicate things. The third one is write how you speak. It will be easier to speak what you write. Now I strongly believe this because I would never probably write a speech which has like 10 or 15 extra complicated words that will make me try to forget it, or which will give me an extra motivation to forget. So just use simple English. No one is judging you on your vocabulary. No one. So don't use synonyms from word for words that are simple to make it more complicated so that you sound more intelligent. It is not important. Your content should make you sound more intelligent. The next one is don't try to overcomplicate things. A beauty of a good speech lies in its simplicity and memorability. Now, all of us who would probably have seen Mohammad Katani give a speech during his in the hall, probably immediately would have remembered that smoke cigarette wala incident, because that's memorability. And also understand one thing, that it is important that you're memorable for judges, because if they don't remember you, they will not rate you. So you need to be memorable in their eyes, because a lot of people also say that if you go first, then you are badly placed. Whoever is going last is better because the judges will remember them. No, because you're going first, you have the chance to set a benchmark. If you're going last, you have a chance to beat benchmarks. So it works both ways. But what is most important is that you're memorable, and memorability comes through using all of these extra elements that we just discussed today and using them well. And the first is that do a practice Zoom session with your friends to determine how your face looks like on Zoom. This is the most important thing. No one does this. So take your friends from the Toastmasters Club, or take anyone else who will help you to determine who will be okay doing a practice Zoom session. And then don't be intimidated by the competition. So I'll tell a funny thing. I'll tell a funny story that when I was going for my final district level competition, like everyone told me that all the other 5 people are excellent Toastmasters, and it's a fluke that you have come till here, and maybe you might win, maybe you're not win. We are still very proud of you. You do very well, and that is intimidating, right? And I don't know whether it was a fluke or no. I don't think it was, but what is important is that you don't get intimidated. You like the moment that you start thinking that, hey, like I will not take like any specific name, but any person, like for example, I'll take Sauvik's name. Sauvik is a very good friend. He's a mentor, so I'll take his name. Like if I feel that I'm less than Sauvik, then I've already lost the battle. Some of you may know Sauvik, some of you may not know Sauvik. It doesn't matter. That is not the point. The point is that what you need to say is what you need to figure out is you should never defeat your own self in your mind. So the next few secrets are that you should not participate for the sake of participating. You should participate to win. you should not say that, "Arey, chalo, ye saal mein karke dekho na. I will give my best next year. So let me just take part in the club competition." No, you take part to win, or you don't take part at all. Like, it's a competition. It's not Toastmasters. It's Toastmasters, but it's not a pathways where you're trying to figure yourself out, figuring out to win. So don't put half-hearted efforts. Put your 100% effort. If after that you lose, it's okay. So, which brings me to my next point. Like, don't leave your preparation halfway. You will be more disappointed with an underprepared win rather than an over-prepared loss. So you practice, and then you lose. You will not be disappointed. But if you don't practice and you still win, you will be disappointed. I can guarantee, because you might win in that round, but the next round you're going to be killed. So it's very important that you're very, very, very clear with your preparation. The next point is use your online environment as significant advantages, and the audience will see your emotions better. So you should never be afraid to use them. Like how I discussed, how I showed you my speech, you should always be okay to look at your expressions and try to figure out what would be the best way to use them in your speech. The next part is probably, in my opinion, the most important thing, which is that you should write your speech to impress the 10 judges and not the audience members. So you should try to understand what kind of judges are going to come at what level in a competition, and what is the kind of thing that they like to hear. Okay, so that is the kind of speech that you should write, and that is why I said it's very important to keep modifying your speech little by little as the competition progresses. And when I say little by little, I'm not saying change elements in your speech, but make it more polished, make it more refined, practice a few elements better. All of those things is what is important. And the last bit I already spoke to you, which is study your competition. And the last one of the most important things again is you should believe in yourself, trust your instincts, and you should not be afraid to take, and you should not be taking feedback from like 15 different people, because 15 different people means 15 different views, and in the end, it's your speech and your view that matters the most. So these are the secrets which I felt are very important for writing an ISC speech, and I hope that this is something that has helped you. And you can make it a scientific process, but it's an art, and you can use certain elements like how I did, try to research a little, try to figure out what works, what does not work, try to figure out what you can do to be an effective speaker and effective writer. And once you have done both, then you would be the winner of Eloquence 2022. On that note, thank you so much to everyone. I'm very happy to take any questions that you have, or if you don't have any question right now, like please feel free to reach out to me at a later date. I'll be very happy to look at any answering any questions, reviewing anything, or anything that you need from me. Very, very happy to do it, and don't hesitate to reach out.
Any questions? You can raise your hand if anybody has.
Thank you so much, Ravi.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay, I see Abhijit has a question. Yeah, Abhijit.
Yeah, Pranav, thank you so much for the session. It's different instincts altogether. I mean, I take a lot of positive from it. The thing I learned today is that you choose the topic which is close to your heart. So
Right.
unnecessary looking at the other people's speeches and everything, we try to complicate ourselves and choosing a very complicated topic, and we totally get fumbled in the speech. So this is a good takeaway from this session. It's a wonderful session. You tried to cover as much as possible. So I appreciate for you that. So thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Abhijit. I think, yes, you're absolutely right. It's very important to choose a topic that is close to our heart. And I'll tell you a little secret. I'm not sure whether you have seen my speech or no at the district level, but I talk about, it's important to it's not a strength that will make you a fighter. It's a determination to be a fighter that will make you a fighter. I talk about that. And how it started. It's a very interesting story. So when I was a kid, I was a WWE fan. And I loved the way that they did announcements and they did all of those things. So I wanted to incorporate some element from that into my story. And just with that small idea, I figured that, hey, let me try to figure out how I can combine that WWE and this. And it was nothing related to WWE, but that was the trigger point for me to figure out, hey, what should I talk about? And then I figured that, this is a very important topic that's close to my heart. And my earlier speeches were much different than my district speeches. And earlier speeches, I spoke about few incidences from my life that actually helped me with becoming a fighter. So so that is how my insight came. And my point of telling you this is that the insights can come from anywhere. You just need to like thoda sa introspect a little. So you're absolutely right. Choose a topic that's close to your heart. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pranav, for that amazing session. I think like everybody who attended would agree. Like it's like getting a sneak peek in the mindset of a champion public speaker. Like the way you prepare, so many speeches you have gone through, and you have actually shared with us also, like expressions, the modulation, vocal for each of the speech. Like there's so much work you have put in for your attempt at ISC, as well as sharing for 24-hour sessions. So thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you so much, Anish. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this. And this was my first education session. I hope that this has been useful for you.
I'm sure this is just the beginning.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Pranav, just give me a minute so that I can present you your certificate of appreciation. Anand, can you just help me click the picture because my screen will be on share? Thank you.
So can you spotlight Sanisha as well?
Sure. Both of you are spotlighted. Is my screen visible? Can somebody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Pranav, for coming to the Thank God It's Friday session, and please accept a token from on our behalf. You're on mute, Pranav.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Anish. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And thanks again. I would like to thank the whole team, Anand, Anupriya, Tanisha, for planning the whole event and ensuring it goes smoothly. And thank you all, Ravi, Abhijit, Santosh, and Raj, for joining us for today.
Picture,
yes, group picture.
taken.
I can be cropped because my picture is not looking good. I'm sitting in dark.
That's okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pranav. My mother used to say in college that don't study in early morning, study in night, because you'll study and then in the night your mind will be processing it. So I think now our Friday is getting over with a very nice educational session.
Yes, I'm glad. I hope this helps all of you and that we all do very well in this competition season that's coming up.
It was an amazing session, Pranav. Like the way when you listen to any speech, how to dissect that. I think you covered that. That's very important. We do listen many times, but you covered that, how to dissect that while listening.
Yeah, actually that was the best part, where the timings were mentioned, the dissection was proper, that okay, from this second to this second, there was a pause and there was voice modulation. So that homework what you shared with us now, like I felt like I was a backbencher and a first bencher just presenting the report.
No, I'm absolutely happy to share like even the PPT with you. And in case you want like any other examples of